everyone. Welcome back to Crypto City. Appreciate all of you taking time to be here with us tonight on your Monday night. We've got one of our community favorites, Meta Dai, here tonight to help bring you part 2 of prompt engineering. Always exciting to get community feedback and participation. In fact, we have a really great community month lined up. Next week, we'll have on Titan, a well-respected world builder and tech whiz. Then we're going to welcome back our good friend Cybershay to talk about the incredible Web3 and VR things that she's become involved with since we saw her in Season 2. And then we'll round out the month with Matt Lowe, the founder of Deveo Technologies, a very creative digital designer and world builder. A couple of things before we bring out our guest. I've been asked why Crypto City doesn't talk more about cryptocurrencies. Well, there's a couple of reasons. First, Crypto City was actually named for the cryptography in blockchain, which is a type of internet security that's used to provide security and help users maintain data on the web, providing credibility and data security. Web3 is the next generation of the internet. It's like an upgraded version of the internet that aims to make things more decentralized, secure, and user-controlled. So now the key idea here is that cryptocurrencies play a big role in Web3. Cryptocurrencies are digital or virtual money like Bitcoin or Ethereum that are stored on the blockchain. In Web3, these cryptocurrencies are often used in a special way. Imagine you want to help build or improve something on Web3, like a new kind of website or application. Instead of just doing it for free, Web3 systems reward you with tokens, which are like digital rewards or points. These tokens can be valuable because they might be used in the same network or traded for other cryptocurrencies. So in Web3, you can earn tokens for contributing to projects or helping run the system. It's like getting paid in digital money for your efforts. This helps encourage people to participate and make Web3 more vibrant and useful. In a nutshell, Web3 is about making the internet better, and cryptocurrencies are used to reward and motivate people for their contributions to this improved internet. So lastly, it's been a bear market for crypto, but also there have been some really crazy news stories that have been playing out. Like Sam Bankman-Fried found guilty on 7 counts of fraud from the whole FBX scandal we discussed last season. So, we're not opposed to talking about cryptocurrency, but let's talk about it in a more positive light. We're going to have Ken Bosak on in a few weeks, and he'll be able to give you lots of insight into cryptocurrency as well. So while we're ever following the highs and lows of cryptocurrency, it is just part of all that is Web3, blockchain, NFTs, and AI. So speaking of AI, Elon Musk has just introduced Grok, a cheeky AI chatbot developed by his company xAI to challenge ChatGPT. Here's the highlights. So Grok was trained in just 2 mere months and is designed to have both normal and fun modes, something for the conservative and for the bit more sassy. The heart and soul of Grok is its core AI engine, Grok 1. xAI claims it's got the upper hand on GPT 3.5 on certain benchmarks, but it's still playing catch-up to the mighty GPT-4. Grok's got its fingers on the pulse of real-time posts on X, so it's up to date on the latest happenings. Once it's done with beta testing, Grok will be unleashed to all the X Premium Plus subscribers. Want to juggle multiple conversations as well? No problem. Grok lets you chat with several people simultaneously, and it responds just as fast as you can refresh your screen. So future plans include adding API, image, and audio recognition, along with the version of Grok integrated into Teslas using local computing. So Grok's edgy and unrestrained style is a sharp comparison in contrast to ChatGPT's more guarded responses. Its access to a wealth of Twitter data promises to be more intriguing, but sometimes will be a noisy knowledge base. The fact that xAI whipped up Grok in just 2 months means that OpenAI's got some genuine competition on its hands. But we haven't lost our love for ChatGPT. Exciting news from OpenAI is that they're introducing some really cool new beta features. ChatGPT Plus members and subscribers are going to be able to have these. They're talking mostly about 2 main updates. First, you can now upload files and work with them using ChatGPT. Then there's something called multimodal support, which is pretty cool. It means you won't have to manually choose modes like browse with Bing from the ChatGPT-4 drop-down. The chatbot will just figure out what you need based on the conversation you're having with it. So remember, we talked about before how important it is, the prompts that you're putting in, the data that you put in. You want to make sure, just like everything else in life, you're putting in good information, because garbage in, garbage out. These new features are sort of like borrowing a bit from the advanced Office features available in ChatGPT's Enterprise plan and bringing them into regular individual chatbot subscription. There's also the advanced data analysis feature where you can feed a file to ChatGPT, and after a short processing time, it can do things like summarize the data, answer questions, and even create data visualizations based on your requests. The best part is that not all of this is limited to text files. There's an example where a user posted screenshots of a chat where they upload an image of a capybara and asked ChatGPT to create a Pixar-style image based on using DALL-E 3. Then they went even further and uploaded an image of a wiggly skateboard, asking ChatGPT to insert that into the concept. Super creative and fun. So in rolling out with all the large language models, let's bring out Meta Dai to discuss prompt engineering. Come to the stage, please, Meta Dai.
Welcome. Hey everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome, girl.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
So we're super excited to have you back on the show. We had you on last season, and we got to hear about all the types of things that you were interested in doing. Now we have you back, and we're going to talk about prompt engineering.
Get myself together real quick.
Sure, take your time.
And there we are. Yes, let's talk about prompt engineering. Yes.
So we did an episode a few weeks ago, and we talked about, feeding basic prompts, and we talked about like the personas and, giving examples with few shot. So now we're going to talk about more of beyond that. We're actually going to talk about more the creative side, and that's where you excel at it. So tell us some of the stuff that you've experienced.
Sure. As you see right here, I have what is prompt engineering. So the basic or the best definition that I can give is it's the magic wand that turns AI into a genius. I like to use phrases or descriptive phrases and describe things in something that everyday person or the average person can understand. So for this analogy, I like to use dating. So I know a lot of people are afraid to use prompt engineering, to use ChatGPT. Oh, I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to do that. I want people to think of it as a person that you are meeting for the first time. And let's just say that ChatGPT is a dating app. I'm not saying that we use dating apps or you use dating apps, but let's let's use our imagination. And when you first go on a dating app, if you see someone that you're interested in, you're like, okay, so you get curious about it. That's how ChatGPT and Bard works. You start to ask questions to see what kind of responses you get. Now, depending on the response, either you're going to say, no, this is not for me, or I want to know a little bit more. That's what prompt engineering is, especially with ChatGPT and Bard. So with ChatGPT, it's more of like a natural. It takes more of a natural language, and it gives results based on the questions that you ask or in the way that you ask the question. Versus Bard. So Bard AI is a little bit more. I like it. I like Bard AI a little bit more than ChatGPT because Bard AI. Yeah, because Bard AI actually includes results that you can get results from YouTube, you can get results from Gmail, Google Docs, flights, and hotels. So it's more accurate. Like, for example,
Okay.
I did a research. I did put in 50 years, the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And one of the groups that came back in the results was it was I think it was the Sugar Hill Gang, and it had gave me a little bit of information about them, and it even included the pictures. So,
Okay.
and
Okay.
along with the site reference of where you can find the actual picture at. So that was kind of neat. I kind of like that.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
Yes.
visuals are always make things better.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree with you with that. So everybody, I just want y'all to take a chance. Just give it a chance. See if you like it. You never know what might happen. You never know what results you might get. If you don't like it, don't mess with it anymore. But just take a chance on yourself.
Just like that guy on the dating app.
Exactly, right?
That's great. All right, so that's a little bit about those softwares that are out there, those software apps that people are using. I mean, I think most of us here have all seen and heard about ChatGPT. Bard, might be new to some of you, but go out there, try it out, give a little taste to it. What else do we have? What else can you share with us?
Okay, so with certain things like, okay, so when you're using ChatGPT or Bard or any other AI application similar to the opportunities with ChatGPT, certain things that you can research. You can find out public speaking tips. So if you're not a good public speaker and you would like to learn how to be a better public speaker, ChatGPT will give you more tips about that.
Okay.
Also, if you want to learn about mindfulness, you could just say, hey, you know what, something is stressing me out. Could you please help me calm my mind? And if the results will come back, sure, we'll give you 25 ways or 10 ways or 10 suggestions or how you can practice mindfulness. So that's in regards to ChatGPT. With Bard AI can actually help you with new projects. Bard AI also can help you generate content for your social media blog. It'll help you. It'll also help you optimize your website. So both of these platforms are very good. I like I said, I suggest that just give it a try. Give it a try.
Okay.
Now, when you do prompt engineering, you do type in your prompts, you have to make sure that you're typing it or whatever you're requesting for is clear and concise, because sometimes you can get a phantom result. So with ChatGPT, the phantom result is sometimes it's misunderstood. It's misunderstood. You'll get a results that's come back misunderstood, and it's based on what you typed in. So if you type in something that's very vague, like something about, for example, if you say, what does a successful CEO look like? The result may come back, hey, a successful CEO is a white guy that lives in this area that makes this kind of money, and we all know that's false, because there are successful Black CEOs, they're successful Black women CEOs, they're successful Chinese women CEOs, of all ethnic races. So the result that you get is based on the result that you get is based on the misunderstanding. And the misunderstanding comes from what you put in regards to the prompt. So with Bard, that result, for some reason, that platform, if you put in their definition of a phantom prompt is more harmful, because sometimes it can sometimes with the results, because the way their results come back, it could give you a link. Sometimes if you're not careful, the link could be spammy. So or it could be misinformation. So what I advise everyone to not do is click on the links. If you're more curious about it, or if you're curious about what the results is, is just double check and Google it yourself. Just don't click on the link. So, because one thing you don't want is spamware on your computer or your device, and then you come back and tell me what Meta said. Meta did not say. So do not click on the link. Yes, do not click on the link. So yeah. So
fandom results
it's fun
can
to
be
use.
very. It can be very confusing sometimes because people think what they're getting is accurate, and that's why you need to double check.
Yeah, always double check. Always check because it might not be true. So just double, triple check. So, but not to deter anybody from it, but still try it. Still try.
Of course, yes. And the thing is, too, when we talked about prompt engineering a couple of weeks ago, we were saying, you're going to put in your question, you're going to get your answer. If that answer doesn't satisfy what your question was, you can refine it and you can re-ask it, or you can go back and say, okay, like you mentioned with the CEOs, okay, so maybe the data that the internet shows, if you were in, say, Adobe or Canva and you searched for CEO, maybe that's the imagery that you would typically get. However, we all know, like you said, that's not the case. So if it comes back and you're like, this isn't accurate, now you need to rephrase, and that's where becoming good at prompt engineering is key, because you need to learn the correct prompts to ask. That is true. That is very true. Another thing I want to point out in regards to both ChatGPT and Bard, and the reason why I prefer Bard now. ChatGPT people do not come for me, but the reason why I prefer Bard now is because, okay, let's start with ChatGPT. So when you put in a prompt, it brings back a result. If it's a result you do not like, you can always regenerate a new result. You can regenerate how many times you what a key thing that I usually do when I regenerate a new result, I would either regenerate, if I see if it's repetitive, I'll put in a prompt, hey, can you give me, or can you create 25 different results from the ones that are above to make sure I get a variety of results. With Bard AI, I get 3 different results for every search that I do. Oh, okay.
So yeah, and then you could just go through the 3, whichever one you like, you can, say, hey, okay, this is what, well, in Bard AI, they call it drafts. So you could either pick draft 1, draft 2, or draft 3. Whichever one you select, that is the one you keep. If you don't like any of them, just regenerate. You'll get 3 new drafts, or it generates 3 more options for you. So that's what I like about Bard.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to play around with Bard because I don't normally play with Bard. I play with ChatGPT and a couple other ones. So I'm going to try it out. But it's funny that you say that, because a lot of times when I do use ChatGPT, I will ask it, like, sometimes I'll feed it information and I'll be asking it to rewrite it in simpler terms, or rewrite it in concise format, because concise for me is a big thing. A lot of times the results you get back are far too wordy, and I'm just looking for a little blurb that I can work with. But I will find that sometimes when it rewrites it, it really just sticks too much to exactly what the original was. So I'll say, please rewrite this again. And I'll say, rewrite it now in a conversational tone. Rewrite it now in a more corporate manner. Like, I will ask it to change the persona in order for me to get different results back from it. But I like the fact that you're saying it automatically is giving you that. So that's great. I'm going to check that out. Thank you. Yes, and I always ask for it. Sometimes I ask for, like, rewrite it in a sassier tone, rewrite it in an empathetic tone, just to see what comes up. And then if the results comes up and it's a little bit too cheesy, I'm like, less cheesy. Less cheesy. Let's just say, dear Bard, less cheese. Exactly. So let's talk about, like, now we have up on the screen fun and imagination. So we've been talking a lot about how to use this for more corporate-y or more business type things. There's fun things you can do too. Tell us some of the stuff that you've done that's been more exciting and fun.
Okay, so some of the things that I've done with ChatGPT is like, for example, I have put up a sentence or asked to write a poem and make it funnier poem, make it funnier, make it wittier. For example, this example right here, when they announced the Color Purple movie coming, was airing or will be in the theaters on Christmas Day, I said, I wonder if if there were, if the Color Purple characters, if they were real people, what tech career would be best for them? So I did all the main characters. So I did Silly, I did Sophia, and I did Harpo. So with Silly, it says that based on her characteristics, that she would be great as an AI ethicist, which I can see that. I definitely can see that for Silly. In regards to Sophia, which is on the next slide, Sophia, the AI said that with her characteristics, she'll be great as she would be great as she would be great as a great person shaping the future of immersive experience. So with those that come into the space, she'll be the one that empowers them, because she had a great voice and she always was a powerful woman. And with Harpo, it said that Harpo would be good. They said he would be good in XR experience, in XR reality. He'll be good in a role in XR. So that was great. That was fun doing. I had a good time doing that. I actually put that on my Instagram page. So it's, if you search on the Instagram page, because I put a lot of stuff on my Instagram page, you will definitely find it.
Very cool.
Yeah,
your Instagram is a good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is. I mean, we'll post it at the end for everybody, but your Instagram, you put a lot of content out there that's tech related. So, you guys at the end, when we put it up there, make sure that you screenshot it, go out there and friend her on Instagram so you can follow.
Yes.
That is fun. I mean, it's so you're doing it more for entertainment purposes.
Oh, yeah.
So for those of you who are, thinking, oh, well, I don't need ChatGPT. I don't need Bard. I don't need to play around with prompt engineering and AI because that's just all business and everything. You could be having some fun with it too. You could be sitting at home on a bored night, it's raining out, you're sitting home on a Tuesday night, sit there and play around with it and, create yourself some interesting entertainment. You've done some other stuff too, so let's see what else you've done.
Yes, so what I did was I did like a tech matchmaker. Like I asked ChatGPT, based on these careers in tech and XR, VR, AI, cybersecurity, what couples what two people would make the best couple? And I'll just share a few here. One, if you look on the middle slide, it says the AI architect will work best or will be a best match for the data scientist. And the reason why is because their combined expertise can lead to an immersive AI experience. So I can see that for them. The next one I did was for the Metaverse developer will be a great match for like the UX designer. And it's saying that together they can craft engaging and intuitive virtual worlds. I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
So pay attention, everybody out there who's involved in doing these things.
Because the holidays is coming
might
up.
Be out there, right?
Listen, the New Year's is coming up. The holidays is coming up. You never know. And then you could just say,
"Well, ring in the new year with your little virtual friends."
yes. And if y'all get married, just make sure I get an invite. I like it.
Hey, we all know that love is in the metaverse. We've seen plenty of our friends meet up in here and end up, whether they're married or together. We've seen it happen. You've got common interests. There it is.
Yes, very true. Very true. So that's what it was. Just something fun to do. Something else I just thought of that would be great. And I want somebody to steal this idea. Actually, I want Sherwin to steal this idea. And the idea is, well, we know that when we was on Allspace, Sherwin was the king of game shows. Okay. So Sherwin should steal an idea and think of, hey, ChatGPT, I want to create an immersive game show, but I want it to be mixed reality, whereas his contestants could be, probably watching them on VR. And he can ask ChatGPT, create for me a business plan on how I can successfully achieve this goal. Sherwin, still the idea. I gave it to you.
Well, you know what? If it's not Sherwin, it could be Molly. Molly also, she's
Molly
still doing
too.
game
That is
shows.
true.
Maybe they could do a collaborative effort.
That would be great. That definitely would be great.
All right. So, that's some fun things that we can do here.
Oh, yeah.
And all of this was done by prompting it with those questions that, you came up with to make a little game out of it for yourself.
Yes. And like I said, I was very surprised with the results, but I did see that, how those couples would work in regards to the color purple characters, how the actual career matches the character. So I can, I see it.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So, what now? Let's kind of shift gears a little bit. And what do we have here? This is something that you did more about business.
Yes. So I did so my best friend, she makes jams and jellies. She told me the flavors she was doing and creating. So I asked her about apple cinnamon. She's like, I don't know if that would go good with a jelly. Let me get back to you on that. So I said, well, let me just find out for myself. So I asked ChatGPT to come up with cute names for apple jelly jams or apple jelly jellies. I mean, apple cinnamon jellies or apple cinnamon jams. So I came up with these names here. All the names is like apple cinnamon. It's some like bliss, and it has like bosa, and it has like magic, So what I did, next thing I did was I asked ChatGPT, okay, I asked it to be a little bit more creative. So I said, make it sassy, techie, and fun. So it came up with the results, and then I asked it, and give me the reason why you would name these jellies and jams, or why you gave the jellies and jams the names that you gave it. So it came up with, it came up with something like apple cinnamon bite, apple cinnamon blast, apple cinnamon delight. So with the apple cinnamon delight, it was like, this name is simple and it's great and it's straight to the point and accurately delicious. So that's why I came up with that name. So so just do, something fun. Like if you're interested, or if you would like to create something like some kind of business, I want to start a jam business. I want to start a candy business. I want to start a cookie business. Hey, think of some names. These are the ingredients. Tell me what what you can come up. You ask ChatGPT to let me know. Give me some ideas of some catchy names. So. Yeah, I did all this for fun.
Sounds good to me.
Listen, I like
that makes me hungry.
I like the apple cinnamon crush. Cinnamon apples flow. Yeah, I like that one too. So so that's what I did.
There's a lot of good ones. Great. So then you move. Oh, well, heaven, yes, of course. During the holidays, that'd be great. Yes. So, that's kind of a way that we're talking about, building businesses here. So,
right.
Shifting gears over to business, there's a lot of ways for, people have ideas sometimes like, I think I might like to do, this kind of business, or I want to know how I can take some of the things that are important to me and put them into a potential business. And I know that, we've all kind of, played around in our heads over time, like, someday if I ever had money, I would do such and such, this is the kind of business I would run. But you actually had something a little bit more personal that you used it for. If you want to tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So a lot of people know that my mom passed away from complications of dementia. And it was asked of me, was asked of a lot of people who family members passed away from that horrible disease. They said, think of creating a legacy for your family members so they can live on. So I thought of something based off of not only to remember her name by allow her name to carry on, but to also assist those who are suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's. So I asked ChatGPT to create for me an idea that will assist those who are caregivers and those who are suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia. I also asked ChatGPT to have include an element of sewing because my mom was a seamstress. So it came up with this idea here. I even asked ChatGPT for the logo, create for me an idea for how the logo should be created and include all shades of purples from the darkest of purples to the lightest. So it came up with this. One of the suggestions that it came up with was the therapeutic stitching kits for memory wellness. It told me,
nice.
The reason why this will be a good idea, who it will help, how it will help. It also it gave me an idea of how the logo should be designed, down to the colors or the hues of purples that should go inside.
I love this. I love this. I love the fact that, it kicked back something, not just very generic. This is very specific because obviously people with dementia and Alzheimer's, they do have cognitive issues, but this is giving them something to focus on. So for those who are maybe in an earlier stage of it can actually, use that focus because they're working on something. And, and I love the logo design, a stitching hoop with intertwined threads forming a soothing brain. I love that. That is really, I can close my eyes and envision that. It's a very thoughtful logo idea.
Yeah, I think Mama liked it though. Yeah, it really was. It really. I mean, it came up with some other ideas as well. So I was really surprised with the idea. Came from the prompt that I put in. So I'm like. I don't know how I'm to decide now. I have no idea how I am going to decide. Yeah.
Well, I hope that you're able to carry one of these through to fruition.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
Actually move forward with it. I mean, I'd love to hear about it down the road when that comes to comes true, because that to me, doing things that you're passionate about and having that be a little side business and stuff like that, or even your main business, it's so fulfilling, but this one is so sentimental because it's keeping her memory and her spirit alive. And I love that. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And I agree with you, City. And that's the great thing about ChatGPT. So the great thing about ChatGPT is that before we was able to take advantage of this opportunity and take advantage of this type of tech, we would have to either pay somebody for this information, hope that they would give us the correct information, or if we didn't want to pay for the information, we would have to research the information on our own. And then we had to hope that we got all of the information. Now it's like, it's no excuse. It's like right there at our fingertips.
It's there.
It costs nothing. It's just the fact that you just had to just take your time with it and just be patient with yourself as you learn this new technology, because it's not going in. It definitely is.
Absolutely. Well, shifting gears, coding is something that, we didn't really get a chance to talk about on the last one. So I'm glad we're bringing it up today. We all know Kip VR. So he had told me a story about the fact that, he was working on a project and somebody had given him a script and there was an error in the script, and he was able to feed that into ChatGPT and have ChatGPT read the script and kick back to him a revised version of it with the correction so that they could make the script work. So that is impressive to me that, for developers and world builders and anybody out there who's creating scripts, I mean, you can use this to your benefit. I mean, I know in the old days, when you would, writing code, the tiniest little, like a period in the wrong place throws everything off. So now this is actually taking code and it's actually correcting where the errors are for you to help you move forward far more efficiently. I mean, it does it really quickly.
Yes.
What's your experience with this?
Well, I am not a coder, and it's funny that you mentioned Kip, because the first time I heard about ChatGPT was right before Allspace had shut down, and we was trying to find our place, a new home, as we like to say. And I heard Kip, he just mentioned in conversation how he used ChatGPT to I think he asked it to do a certain kind of code or how to perform some kind of code. So I'm not a coder, so I just don't know. But he asked it to do something based off of coding, and it came back, and he was shocked. And the first time I heard him say that, and I was like, well, I ain't interested in the code. I'm not going to worry about it. But I said, but if I was, and that was just recent, I said, but let me see what will happen. And like I said, I'm not a coder. I'm not interested in it, but I asked ChatGPT, just in case I decide. I asked ChatGPT, like for this prompt, I asked ChatGPT to basically teach me everything about Python. Explain it to me as a beginner, give me the steps, and also give me the why for each step. And it basically broke everything down. Like, first thing you need to do is you need to download the software from the link. The reason why is because you need this. So basically you need this. So I like the way they explained everything as if I'm a beginner. So if I do decide, I think I will be in good hands with ChatGPT, just breaking it down like this. And for those out there who has the coding bug in your system, I'm not going to say no names. Y'all know who y'all are. There's no excuses. There is no excuse. If you ever wanted to learn how to code and you don't have to worry about paying $1,000 to go to boot camp. You don't have to worry about going back to college. You can do it in the safety and the comfort of your own home. 12 o'clock midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever time you want to do it. Get you a notebook, get you something to write with, something to write on, and just put in, hey, I need to learn, like, hey, could you tell me the basics of Python? Could you write each step? Between ChatGPT and you got YouTube and I guess Google, you'll be fine. Be fine. So basically, I asked ChatGPT to just break down, in layman's terms, I asked ChatGPT to break down how to do Python. Everything I need to know from beginning to end. And it did a marvelous job. It even broke down what the first code should be, which is hello world. And it told me why, explain why. Why? Because this is the first code you're running. It's letting you know that you're doing everything correctly. It also share with me what the syntax is, so for name, you can create a syntax for a variable for name, like my name here, it says Meta Dai. So the variable for name is my name. And then if you want to create a variable for age, ChatGPT, I love you, because you said I'm 25 and I'm keeping it. So so my variable for age is 25, And then it gave me a height, so it just broke everything down. Baby steps. And that's what I love about this technology. Yep,
what's kind of cool about this too is, so you asked it to give you basics of something that's pretty in depth and obviously very technical. And, there might be some of you sitting out there right now that are like, okay, I am not technical. I'm not ever going to use ChatGPT to learn how to do Python or coding or any of that. But this is a perfect example of how, like, let's say you had an interest in something else. You could say to it, hey, give me the basics of this. Say you were interested in starting a dog walking business, and you said, what do I need to do to learn the basics for this? What do I need to do to establish a business doing dog walking? It might kick back to you and say, before you do anything, you need to get insurance. You might need to, get the supplies that you need in order to do this. Leashes, collars. Do you have a place that you can walk the dogs before you do this? How are you going to establish your clientele? I mean, I mentioned in the original prompt engineering episode how to do the steps for creating a concrete patio. And it gave everything step by step all the way through. So that's one of the great things. If you prompt engineer correctly, the question that you want, and you said on yours, teach me as a beginner, give me examples, and tell me why. So those prompts that you're feeding into it, this is why prompt engineering is so important. Feeding it the right prompts kicks back the right results. So she got step by step, this is what you do, this is what it looks like, this is why. So, there's different prompt engineering for different types of results that you're going to get back. You need to learn how to ask the right questions. But in reality, prompt engineering is kind of like having a conversation with your friend. We talked about, the prompt engineering is conversational. So if I came up to you right now and I said to you, green, you're going to look at me and be like,
I would have no idea what she's talking about.
Yeah. But if I came up to you and I said the color green, how can I incorporate this into this world here? What do you have for ideas? Okay. Now you might be like, well, the color scheme is purple and blue and, but maybe you could put some neon green as accents. I have to give you more context and give you the direction, and you can give me back results.
That's very true. Very true. Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
So,
or it might come back, or the result might come back asking what shade of green.
Yes,
sometimes it will ask you what shade of green. Like green. What you mean? Olive green? Do you mean Kelly green?
Teal. Yeah.
right. Exactly. And then you go down the rabbit hole. Then you go down the rabbit hole.
Right. I mean, and that is the other thing too. You can get so engrossed in this. There are definitely times that I have sat down and I've asked one question, and based on the results it gave me, I have gone deeper and deeper and asked it more questions. And now I've learned about an entire topic that initially I just wanted a quick answer to. So that is another thing to acknowledge for sure. So what is this question up on the screen? What is this response up on the screen here?
This is Andrej. I hope I'm not messing this man's name up. So I'm just going to say Mr. Carpathy. This is actually on X. It was on Twitter, but it's X now.
Okay.
And he basically said the hottest new programming language is English. I totally agree with this 1,000,000%, because it goes back to what we've been saying. If you do not put in the correct prompt, you will not get the correct answer, or you might not get the answer that you're looking for. So that phrase right there, it basically sums it up in regards to prompting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we did talk about on the last episode that, English is more universal, even though there's plenty of languages out there in the world, but not all the languages that are out there with the dialects and the local the local colloquialisms and everything, not all of them are going to be recognized by the large language models. The vast majority of the internet is in English, and there are maybe some of the more pronounced languages like French, Spanish, Portuguese, like those might be able to translate a lot of the stuff, but the most accurate is probably going to be in English right now. But very short time down the road, I can see that changing so that it acknowledges many more of the more common languages.
I wouldn't be surprised if it happens within the next 2 to 3 months. I would not be surprised, because the way this is going and how fast it's going, it's just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Now, they just came out and said that you can create your own chat bot and make money from it. And I put that information on my Instagram page. It's in my stories and in my AI, artificial intelligence highlights. So if you know more about that, I'm not, I do not get any money for them, but I just share the information. So
yeah, but it's pretty cool. Chatbots are fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. Yep.
Well, one of the things that people should know about you, I mean, first of all, I want everybody to take down her Instagram and follow her like we talked about. Meta Dai has so many very informative things on there, news tidbits, things that come out in tech that are on there. And also you share a lot of links for, courses people might be interested in, or different pages that have, some great information for you to check out. But also you have your own show that you do as well, which, congratulations for doing,
Thank you
Tech
so much.
Please. I love that.
Yes.
It's on VR 105. So, tell us a little bit about the show. I know you're on hiatus right now, but the show is pretty amazing. So tell us a little bit about what it is so when it comes back, people can follow.
Sure. So Tech Please is this talk show. It's a podcast show. I talk about all things tech. It'd be something that's happening in tech news. It could be somebody that pivoted in the tech space. So in regards to pivoting into the tech space, I am a champion of women, especially Black women, pivoting into the tech space. I do believe that, and I know for a fact that you can pivot in the tech space without a degree. I have done it. I have interviewed people that have done it. And I am just a champion behind that. So yes, my show is on hiatus, but it will be a special announcement pretty soon. So just be on the lookout for that. Tech Please will be returning. I'm excited.
Good. Yay. We're excited for you too. And, I'm very happy to see one of our community who is embracing all of the knowledge that's out there and, not just taking it all in, but sharing it with other people as well. I mean, again, that's why we do these shows, is so that we can share what's available with the community, and that so all of you can go out there if you're interested and delve deeper into it. And we talked about, some of the guests that we have coming on later this month. It's going to be exciting to see how they've, grown, especially like Cybashay. She was on here, she was learning how to world build, and she was taking some courses in the metaverse, as a matter of fact. And now she's engrossed in so many different things. And it's so great to see that growth, both because they're our friends in the community, but also because they're contributing back into here. I mean, we're pioneers in the metaverse right now. In 5 years from now, we're going to be the OGs.
That's right. Yes, I totally agree.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate you sharing all of your stuff with us. It's great to see your take on things, your perspective on how to use these things that we talk about, like prompt engineering. I mean, we talked all very business and corporate. You showed us it can be so much fun too.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's great. So thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me, sir. Thank you, Crypto City, for having me. I had a wonderful time.
Thank you. So next week, we will be joined by Titan BCXR. Like I said before, he is a world builder. He's a great designer and graphic artist. He's going to come on here. He does a lot of world building here in VR chat. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about that. And it's exciting to meet this month. We're really shining the light on the community. So glad you were part of it and can't wait to see what comes next. And thank you to all of you. I appreciate you all coming here tonight to hear Meta's journey and to, see what's coming up next. And I hope to see all of you next Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Meta.
Thank you, City.